Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios. Now, we're going over some fantastic news today. Many of you have already heard about it. ANVIL IronAge Magazine #1. It is coming. The Indiegogo campaign is live right now. And we mentioned it a little bit on the Weekly Wing It on Monday night, but I want to take a closer look, go down into the details and see what kind of content we'll be getting with this. So, without further ado, let's go over to Indiegogo, where the campaign is currently live. We're going to start out by playing that trailer again, and after that, we will dive down into what will be coming within this magazine. Here we go. And as you can see in that video, the iron is hot, so let's strike it. All right, let's start off with, let's check out those posters first. Morale prints and posters. Okay, hang on, give me a second. I'm going to expand the screen real quick. Bring that up. All right, let me switch over, make sure that is showing properly. Yes, it is. Okay. So, here we have Morale Prints and Posters. Your choice of designs from Iron Age artists Philippe, Spaceman Rossetto, and Vince Nunez of Skunk's Workshop. Available in 8x10-inch prints and 12-inch by 18-inch mini posters. And we see these three right here. Seize the future. Become the culture. Be the vanguard. And let's go look here. Timeline. All right, ANVIL issue #1 is already approaching completion. Written works are ready to print, the art is roughly 50% complete, and the comic preview is well underway. This issue will ship no later than July 2023. Good to know. This schedule accounts for delays and the learning curve we're bound to go through getting this product out, so I feel confident in our ability to stay within those bounds. Funding and stretch goals. 2,500. The printer I've chosen to work with starts production at 100 copies, so this is the minimum amount I'd like to print. At 5,000, issue #1 will have covered enough of the expenses that I'll be able to immediately look at firing up issue #2, which I expect to bring forward later this year. I hope so. And I think so. Things are going pretty strong, so I would not be surprised if he hits that fairly quick. Custom Iron Age Media dice will be unlocked at 7,500 as an add-on perk, perfect for completing the solo RPG. At 10 grand, a new morale print from the cover artist Josan will be commissioned, and all backers get a free 8x10 morale print of their choice. At 30 grand, ANVIL and Iron Age Media get a booth at Houston H-Town Comic Con, where Iron Age authors, artists, and musicians will be able to send their works for display or sale at the booth. How fantastic would that be? At 60, the editor and designer get flown to H-Town Comic Con, and tickets will be made available to authors and artists. Backers can request signatures from any of those who chose to attend. Comic and pulp teasers. Okay, here we go. This is where we're getting into the content that will be within the pages. Ghost of the Badlands. Who is the ghost? Catch an early glimpse of Razor Fist and George Alexopoulos' upcoming Hellfire and Brimstone Western comic. And here we go. A nice classic Western look there. I remember when I first saw the ghost. I was dying. Look at the detail in that artwork. These are people who have passion for what they're doing. They love what they do. Look at the shading. Look at all that fine. It's just, you can tell. These aren't people who are just cranking something out for a job. They love what they do. They have stories to share, to tell with the world. Fleet of Theseus by Daniel J. Snow. Earth is gone, and in the depths of space, a team of scavengers investigates a derelict warship. Inside, they find much more than they bargained for. A sci-fi mystery unravels in the cold emptiness of space. All right, sci-fi mystery. And now up next, Codename Ghost by William Donnelly. In an alternate near-future world run by a transhumanist totalitarian state, a group of rebels fight for freedom. Mercs, Grizzly, and Bambi take to the streets of a desolate and bombed-out American sprawl on the trail of a tank urban assault vehicle used to patrol and terrorize the city's unaugmented populace, aka rats, living in squalor in alleyways, tents, and destroyed buildings. Can they stop it? And at what cost? Ooh, it sounds like nice straight-up cyberpunk action-adventure. And here we have Brigands of the Moors by MFR. Things are not well within the Drakenholm Empire. Wicked men of greed, Arvis stalk the roads, while more esoteric horrors that go bump in the night do prey upon the good people. Recently, trouble stirs amongst the back roads of the moorlands. An army of bandits and highwaymen has begun hitting the church's ties as a considerable amount of wealth flows from the faithful in these trying times. As such, the elder priests have called upon the ranks of crusading priests known as lay clerics, amongst them an ancient Drake champion and his young human squire, to answer the call to arms and escort a considerable amount of golders being transported by reinforced carriage. All right, so that looks a little more medieval mystical. So we go from sci-fi to western to medieval mystical. And here we have The Affair of the Unquiet Grave by Owen G. Tabbard. Death stalks the stately halls of Ashworth House. A mysterious affliction, spectral apparitions, perhaps even murder. But such is the stock and trade of Sir Alistair Fitzroy, Regency-era gentleman and occult detective. An acknowledged master of the arcane, he is summoned by the parish constable to investigate the strange happenings at the manor, much to the chagrin of the lord of the house, to say nothing of the local church authorities who take a dim view on his sorceress practices. Undaunted, Sir Alistair must uncover the truth, but will he be able to find the cause of the unexplained deaths before it's too late? Find out in The Affair of the Unquiet Grave. Nice, a little mystical mystery going on. And up next, we got The Thief of Perun by Joshua M. Gonzalez. Lamb's troubled past catches up with him when he learns an old foe is returned, and the young thief now seeks something more valuable than gold: revenge. Will the streets of Perun run red with the blood of his enemy or his own? And also, Archive of Bliss, Episode 1 by T.J. Marquise. Now, T.J. Marquise, I see him over on the Gilded all the time. He's a good guy. So this is going to be fun to read. Jero Vaughn signed with the Luzcor Interplanetary Survey Group to follow his dreams. Getting paid was great, sure, but seeing the new sights, weird cultures, and experiencing the magic seated in the hearts of every world was the real prize. Sent to the far-flung planet of Bliss, known by its penchant for intoxication, Jero couldn't begin to imagine the wonders he'd discover there if he could keep his head clear. That sounds like it's going to be fun. TJ, I'm wondering, is this a bit of an adventure, sci-fi adventure, or is it more of an interplanetary stoner road trip? I don't know. It looks like it's going to be fun and kind of whimsical. Oh, speaking of whimsical, you may have heard of Whimsyland. Well, the man from Whimsyland, Daniel P. Riley, has done this next piece, The Chronicles of the March of Trees. The Académie de Médecine, I think I said that right, has trained wizards since time began. These intrepid explorers are called chroniclers. Their solemn duty? To observe and record variations in the multiverse, a sacred position taken very seriously by all. And then there's these guys, Elite in the Green, Pasho Pier, and Grothnor of the Mountain Tribe. Travel dimensions on madcap adventures helping those in need in the Chroniclers. That sounds like it's going to be a fun, upbeat adventure. The Iron Age needs you. More important than the success of this magazine is the need for fans to connect with Iron Age creators. Yes. If nothing else, I encourage you to shout out Iron Age projects where you find them and let people know that you love what they're doing. Become the culture. And that brings us right back up to those Prince, right there. Become the culture. And that's what this is all about, is culture. Because stories are more than just entertainment. It is something that drives bonds. If you could, how many times have we known people that would have had nothing to do with each other, had somebody not mentioned a movie and they both liked something in the movie and they started talking? It binds people. People will get together and they'll sit there and discuss a scene that was very well crafted or just flat out hilarious. These are the things that cause people to come together. It helps promote community, because we are social creatures. A person only matters to other people, and that's it. We are social creatures and we need that community, and stories help bind a culture together. They are the glue that hold communities together. And that's why this is so important. I mean, nowadays, there is so much centralization, and just fewer and fewer people are having the say of what stories are released for people to see. But here, independent people who are doing it they're not doing it to build a giant corporate empire, money, power, yada. They have a story in their heart and they need to share that with the world. And these stories become the tales that bind us. And that's what this is all about. And there are so many people out there that are looking for something new. How many people have said, everything coming out mainstream now is just, it's not working anymore. But here's a whole bunch of new creations, and the problem is getting people to see them. The other night on the show, I had Readout Productions on the panel, and he brought up a fantastic idea. He said he was getting a couple extras so he could donate them to his local library. And yeah, I think that's a great thing. I'm going to do the same. So this magazine, it'll allow people who are looking for something new to find it. And that is what it's all about. It's the culture. It's all about culture. And I cannot wait to see where this Iron Age culture is taking us. Well, I say Iron Age culture. Iron Age is more of a contributor to culture. But yeah, we're becoming the culture. Because people love good stories. People want to bond and share experiences. That's what it comes down to, a shared experience. And again, we're social creatures. We need that. And we need things that bind us. If we don't have those common themes in our culture, then we can't exist as a cohesive people. And we need to have those same values, those same ethics, those same ideas that help drive people to continue with their lives, build families, build community. And that's what it's all about. Anyway, I cannot wait. Coming in July. And yeah, I do think we're probably going to be seeing a second issue this year, because actually, let's go back real quick. I want to take a look at something. All right, let me shrink that screen back down, bring it back up. And all right, they are already at $6,800 for their campaign. And the campaign just started. This is nice. Now let's go back down to that timeline. All right, so we're already looking at issue 2 coming, and we're well on our way to Custom Iron Age Media Dice will be unlocked as an add-on perk at $7,500. It sounds like a simple thing, but that's got me really excited. I mean, just little things like that can add, just adds a nice touch, and he's almost there. And when he passes that, the next will be $10,000 for another morale print. So yeah, I mean, this was all done by, well, I don't want to say all. It was all headed by a man named Richard from Iron Age Media. In fact, I'm going to link both those for ironage.media and this Indiegogo campaign. Both will be linked in the description below. But Richard put in a lot of time, effort, putting this together, bringing this to us, and he collaborated and worked with so many other creators to put together everything that's in there. This is a lot of love, effort. I mean, this is definitely a labor of love. You look through there and you know that he's just bent over backwards to make this happen. Richard, a.k.a. King Richard, thank you so much for putting this together. It's a spot for so many different indies works to be collected together as one, that people looking for something new will be able to find it. And I know this wasn't easy. I see you on Iron Age nights every Friday night. 9 p.m. Eastern on A Drink with Crazy. Go check out that show. It is awesome. He is on that show every Friday. They're interviewing new creators all the time. And that guy works so hard to make this movement happen because he sees what's happening to the culture. He knows stories are the glue that hold the culture together. And he is fighting for our culture. Let's fight with him. Let's go over to Indiegogo, back that campaign. I cannot wait to see what's in these pages. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like. If you didn't, I appreciate you stopping by. I'll see you next time. God bless.